continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the hits. Feel the freshness.
Happy days, everybody. Welcome to Let's Pop with Iwerton. This beautiful Wednesday. It's March 26th. I don't know how your week is taking you. Mine is taking me amazing. It's a beautiful, amazing week. So I hope you're excited for the reals new years that you're being ushered into. I was talking about redefining Africans as we redefine ourselves, because you are the change you need to see in the world. Speak life into your week, into your days, because if you close your mouth, you close your destiny.
Feel the hits. Feel the freshness.
here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
And today we're going to be talking about Africa's boundaries and everything that we're basically doing, everything that's happening. We have news and updates regarding Museveni sends a message to the Europeans regarding the Uganda's oil refinery. We also have crazy developments in Africa. That's the up-to-date news that's happening all over. 254 all over Africa. We also have Dr. Arikana's bold and epic speech that shocked the world, and also have the attitude that was not expected from Ibrahim Traore. It is regarding also taking over everything that belongs to you. We also have the Namibia president, the lady who was appointed recently, who said all the US citizens and tourists, they literally need a visa to visit Namibia. I love that. Literally love that for Namibia. That's what's happening. Good stuff's happening here on the best radio station, the Black Hot Fire Radio Network. On Let's Pop with Iwerton. That's what's popping this beautiful afternoon. We have Mr. Newsome on the other side. Doing amazing, doing great, I hope. How are you doing?
What's popping here, Tom? I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Had to do my rant. And Joby said, "Heal. There is no healing from scandalous people. I must lay waste to that butt."
Alrighty. You seem happy. That's a good thing.
I'm always happy here. What is it not to be happy about?
Tell
Life,
me.
we're living. Life is wonderful. And if it's not wonderful, you make your life wonderful. See, unlike Joby, I'm not a Sagittarius. I don't get in bad moods. I'm always happy. Even if shit is fucked up, I'm happy. Always happy here, Todd.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay.
And why be sad if you can be happier, Todd? Please
It's a
make it make
choice.
sense.
Yeah. It's a choice. Definitions belongs to the definers, not the
That's
defined.
right. I stay happy. Somebody talk crazy, I still be happy. Say, hey, you better watch yourself. That's what you do every time. You get a friend you thought was a friend, start talking crazy to you. You say, hey, you better watch yourself. You better watch yourself. Okay, because you're You're gonna lose me as a friend, and then
Yeah,
and then where you gonna be? You're gonna be all messed up.
true. That is so
Be-
true. But welcome,
Because
welcome,
that's
family.
how you're supposed to think. Every time they lose you, it's bad for them.
That is
Not bad
true.
for you,
That's true. If you know
right?
you're
You
genuine
know your
and
value. Like you
you're
said,
thinking,
like whenever you come across my TikTok feed, know your value. Know your value.
that's a fact. That is so true. If you know you're leading with love, everything with intention, yeah, they lose you. You
Right.
don't lose them. That's a
That's
fact.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You kick them to the curb. It's gonna be lost for you. You're out of my
Sure.
life. Too bad for you.
I hope you're all excited to be here on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble. It's your girl, the lovely Iwerton Longoria on Let's Talk with Iwerton. And today it's Africa's boundaries. That's the conversation that we're going to be talking about. How African leaders basically re strategizing, organizing, and actually coming up with new objective to actually reclaim their land or basically take back their power, even though still some are being controlled. We know that. But let's go ahead and talk about Uganda's oil refinery and Sismo 70, who's literally sending a message to the Europeans. But before that, I want you to listen to this amazing quote that I have. It says, walk like you just got the best news of your life, talk like the world is listening, move
That's
like
just
life.
it. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
That's how I move. That's how I move every time. That's how I move. Just like this thing is saying. That's right.
Yeah, talk like the world is listening because it is. Move like life is designed in your favor.
Right.
Energy is magnetic, and confidence bends reality. Some will call it arrogance, others will say you're naive, but the people who believe good things happen to them, they're usually
What
right.
happened? Yeah, because you're right. Your confidence bends reality. That's actually true. You create
Okay.
your own reality. Your subconscious creates your reality. So as you think it,
Hey.
so what you see out in front of you is just a reflection of what's inside. So if you
Hmm.
so if your life is messed up, that means you're
Yeah,
messed up inside. Change your
right,
thoughts. Change the way
right.
you feel about things, and your life will reflect how you feel inside.
So this is what it means when they're saying confidence bends reality. So whatever you're subconsciously thinking about
Yeah,
literally becomes your
create your
reality.
reality.
You
That's
bends
right.
the reality of maybe if life is not good, but you know like good things are happening for me. It's gonna be a great day. That's how the day is gonna be.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you got to know it. You got to put it to effect. You got to know that. I believe it. You have to know.
You have
So
to
if you
know
do
it.
that, yeah. So once you know something, reality starts to bend in your will because you shape your own reality. That's how this works. This is an illusion. So shout out to ancient Africans. This is all ancient. Sorry about you goofy Christians and you goofy Buddhists. None of that shit is real.
Mm,
You bend reality with your mind, as the ancient Africans told you. This is an illusion. You're living in a simulation. That's why there's no such thing as death. It's a simulation. But it bends to your will. Once you understand that, you won't have another unhappy day. Nothing makes me unhappy because whatever I did in the day is because I willed it. It's from my own subconscious. So I keep positive thoughts no matter what. You know, I tell myself this is how it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna be. Knowing. So
mm,
going back and appreciating your ancestors and what they taught will really help you out because they were absolutely right how the world and the universe works. It bends to your confidence, it bends to your will. But if you don't know this, if you're miserable, I'm poor, then that's the world you're going to live in. That's
right.
the reality you're going to create because you
Mm,
create reality.
that is true. So you have to think greater thoughts about
Yes,
yourself. You want to
exactly.
manifest, and that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, yeah, you keep it with well, just thinking with the emotion. Oh,
Mm,
the key about manifesting, you put yourself in a space where it's already happened. You feel the emotion. Because understand, you got electro and magnetism. Magnetism draws things close to you. So the electrical part is the thought. The
okay.
magnetism is the emotion that draws it to you. So you
Again,
want
what
the
did you
thought.
say? Sorry, you
Uh,
said start again.
I said, okay, we live in a electromagnetic universe. So
Electromagnetic.
Yeah, see, all right. Well, you didn't learn that in your Goopy Bible, your Goopy Quran, Irritan. Sorry, you live in and you can look this up. This is factual. You live in an electric magnetic universe. So your
Okay.
thoughts being electric, being energy. Your thoughts are energy, Irritan.
Mm-hmm.
The emotions are magnetic. So your emotions draw things to you. The electric part is you send out the thought, and the emotion will bring back the thought that you have. That's the magnetism that magnetizes the thought. And so that's why whenever you want to possibilities of your life, you want to already put yourself in the space or imagine yourself in the space of you already having what you want. So
Mm-hmm.
you live in that. So you live in that emotion. So what you're doing, Irritar, you're now matching the frequency of what you desire. Okay, so
Right.
you're now becoming a magnet to the things that now what you desire, Irritar.
Mm-hmm.
So because you sent out the energy, and now you're becoming magnetized. You've been magnetized, but through the emotion. So your emotion is the magnet. It is the magnetization to bring the thing that you wanted, your thought to you. It
So the
magnetizes it.
joy, the happiness, how I'd feel if I have whatever I'm trying to manifest. Is that so?
Yeah. Well, you gotta bring the emotion. Exactly. Emotion. So you got the thought, the energy. Your thought is the energy, but you can't do nothing without magnetizing it because the universe is electron. So put us up, Joe. Joe. Put us up real quick here, Tom. Say the
Mm-hmm.
universe operates on electromagnetic fields. Say the universe operates on electromagnetic fields.
Yes, the universe operates on electromagnetic fields, which are fundamental to the structure and interactions of matter, including the forces that hold atoms and molecules together.
See, so this science, this ancient African science, it's been known, but the white man didn't know it, so he gave you a goofy religion. So this ancient African science, so the universe is electromagnetic. So your thoughts are the energy or the electricity, spiritual. That's the electricity that makes everything move, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
magnetism, your emotions are magnetism, are magnet. So electric, the thought's going to come out there, but the emotion that you have is going to magnetize that thought and bring it down to your existence. That's how the universe, because the universe is like they say, atoms and unseen things. So it's
Okay.
going to take your unseen thoughts and bring it into matter. It's going to magnetize it and bring it into matter for you. So that's why you must have the emotion. So the Africans will always tell you, always believe that it already happened. Live like whatever you want to happen, your time,
Yeah.
visualize it, but have the emotion. How does it feel that you already have it? Live in the moment as if it
There's a
already happened.
okay.
Yeah, live with that emotion, and that's gonna magnetize it towards you, and that's gonna make it manifest quickly because now you magnetize your emotions. That's gonna bring it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Right,
just
because I also say it here, electromagnetic force, electromagnetism is one of the four fundamental forces of nature, alongside gravity, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. That's what they say. And then interactions, electromagnetic fields mediate interactions between electrically charged particles, leading to
see,
phenomena.
listen. See,
Okay.
particles mean matter. So that's electric particles, like the table you at, the wall. Those
Okay.
become particles. Becomes material. Becomes the
Hmm.
matter. Right? That's what particles are. Particles become the matter. A car is made of particles. Your shoes are made of particles. So that's the electricity. That's the particle part. Then you have magnetism to draw things in, draw things to you. Go ahead.
And then they have after that there was structure of matter particles leading to phenomena like attraction and repulsion.
There you go.
So
Attraction. Which
mhm,
attract things to you or repulse. Exactly. Also of
okay,
attraction.
so attraction and repulsion. And then structure of matter, the electromagnetic force is responsible for holding atoms and molecules together, as
Together.
well, mhm, as well as the interactions between them. And then we
Listen.
have the uh-huh,
So
we
all
have the
that is
waves.
matter is just things you can see. Your phone, your
Okay,
glasses, your that's those are particles. Particles of
okay.
matter. So go
Mm.
ahead.
We have the electromagnetic waves. So disturbances in
Uh,
electromagnetic fields propagate as electromagnetic waves, including light, radio waves, and X-rays.
Thought waves. Yeah. So
Mm.
so yeah. So you remember I showed you what the thing. Everything's a wave first. Remember I showed you that
The video?
Uh, that
You
video, yeah, about wave, yeah, waves become a particle. Yeah, you think, yeah, everything's a because nothing exists here, Tom. Everything's in wave form first. Because you're living in an illusion. This is not real. This is an illusion. So the creator designed this reality for you to enjoy yourself, here, Tom. Learn how to work it. You're not supposed to. That's why your religions are fake. You're not supposed to be thinking about you're going to go to hell and bad things and all that. No, you're supposed to have a system of understanding that this creation was created for you to enjoy and to learn how to work and to live your best life and to be joyful and abundance.
so also that
That's how.
means you can manifest anything you want, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
manifest
Once you if your
happiness.
vibration, when you start lifting your vibration up, so you start lifting your vibration and focusing your thoughts. Why meditation is so important. Meditation, what focuses your thoughts. It teaches you how to focus your thoughts. So you can't manifest what you want if your thoughts are everywhere. Oh, I'm thinking about my cat. I'm thinking about the
Okay.
bowl. I'm thinking about Jovi. I'm thinking about Shamani. I'm thinking
New
about this. So
York. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so you need to focus. So meditation allows you. That was ancient African allows you to focus your thoughts. So when you
Mm-hmm.
focus your thoughts, you bring in power, and along with your vibrational lifting, because you're eating right foods and a loving heart spirit. So
Yeah.
now you understand.
Are
Now
you in
now
a
you got the joy, huh? What?
Are you in the loving heart spirit with the Jamaicans?
Hell nah. So anyway, don't try, don't try to throw me under the bus every time with your slick ass.
Sorry.
Yeah. Try to throw me on the bus with your slick ass. Keeping you the loving heart spirit. I'm not trying to manifest no Jamaican, so you get out of here.
Alrighty.
So anyway, you put all your emotion behind it, and so that's going to take the particles, turn that waveform of your thought, your thoughts away into now what material, and the
Mm-hmm.
magnetic field of your emotions is going to bring whatever you want to you. That's how manifestation works. But you got to be able to focus your thoughts. You got to be able to focus it, and then also visualize it. So you want to practice focusing and visualization, but you want to do that with emotion. So you already got it
Mm.
because
Because the reason,
because yeah, exactly, because you're bending reality every time because you are a co-creator with the creator. You've been reality bends to you every time. It bends for
mhm,
your purpose.
yeah, I love that. That's a fact. The way you said
That's
it,
how
yeah,
that's
really
but
depends.
that's how wonderful the true God is. He made the real God. This wonder. Well, you know about the real. You're like that. This motherfucker is wonderful. He's just he, she, or she, he, whatever. It's just everything. It's just love, just brilliant. But you know the real creator. You're like, wow, this motherfucker is everything. He's the shit. She's the shit. It's just one because they made a system for you to thrive in, but you learn to understand it. But people want to manipulate that for their own power, for their own gain, for their own power, for their own control. But
Hmm.
the universe design it's designed to let you be. It's designed for you to be its playground, for you to be in a playground and
Hmm.
live an abundant life. But you know the keys to it. Is that
Right.
this creator's a brilliant motherfucker. God damn. Ain't based on you going no hell or you doing evil and you must repent. No, ain't none of that shit. The
Right.
universe is designed to give you what you want here, to fulfill your dreams. All you gotta do is ask it because you are a co-creator with the creator.
That's what's up.
That's all,
Okay.
and that's all your ancient African science, which is now shown to be real. They told you that was wicked and evil, but the science shows that everything African said was real.
How the
And this
universe
is an
started.
illusion. So don't ever be afraid of death. This is an illusion. You're living in a holographic universe. So there is no death. This is just an illusion. So you're here to learn, you're here to play, you're here to love, you're here to sometimes go through some tribulation sometimes. But
Right.
you're here to have you're here to have a ball every time. It's like a big playground.
Mm.
You're
There's
here
a
to have
video
a ball.
of
Good.
what Newsom is talking about before we continue with maybe this is the conversation we're supposed to have, Hey. All right. Let me play this video.
Is a science click. Today, the electromagnetic field. Imagine two people in the void of space playing catch with a ball. When he throws the ball, the first person experiences a recoil because he passes momentum onto the ball. Similarly, when she receives it, the other person absorbs the motion of the ball and also experiences recoil. By throwing and catching the ball, the two individuals have repelled each other. They were motionless at first and are now in motion. If they continue to pass the ball, their speeds will increase each time, and they will move away from each other faster and faster. They behave as if they were experiencing a force. The action of the ball can be viewed as a force of repulsion. In nature, at the quantum scale, this phenomenon is at work between certain particles, such as electrons, possibly strong virtual photons. A virtual photon is a particle stemming from the laws of quantum physics, which can appear out of nothing, provided it disappears fast enough, such that we cannot detect it. A virtual photon has a certain energy, and the more energy it has, the shorter its lifetime. Therefore, the less energy a virtual photon has, the greater the distance it can travel. By exchanging virtual photons, electrons experience a repulsion, a force that pushes them away from each other, like the two people playing catch. This force is increasingly powerful as the distance between electrons shortens, because the virtual photons then have less distance to travel and can thus be more energetic. Many other particles exchange virtual photons, and their tendency to interact in this way is called the electric charge. The electron has an electric charge of -1 e. E is the basic unit for electric charge. A particle will have a certain multiple of this elementary brick. Some objects interact more than a single electron. We can imagine an object containing 2 electrons and whose electric charge would be -2e. Moreover, some particles, like protons, interact with virtual photons in the opposite way. Their electric charge is positive. The charge of the proton, for instance, is +1e. Just like with 2 electrons, 2 positively charged particles repel each other. However, a negative particle and a positive particle attract each other. Charges of the same sign repel each other, while opposite charges attract. To take into account all these interactions, we introduce the electric field. We can conceive it as a sort of imaginary fabric. If we place an electron in the field, which is negatively charged, the field turns blue.
Oh.
However, if we place a proton, which is positively charged, the field turns red. If we drop new particles, they will escape from the areas which have the same color as them. A neutral particle without electric charge doesn't feel anything and moves in a straight line. A positive charge, such as a proton, will be repelled by red areas and attracted by blue areas. And a negative charge, on the other hand, will be attracted by red and repelled by blue. Let's illustrate the electric field with several examples. Here is the field created by 2 electrons.
Is that showing how the conversation that we were having earlier? Is it explaining it better? Mr. Newsom, if you're there?
We see that the central position
Yeah,
between the
yeah, I'm here,
electrons.
Tom. I'm listening.
Yeah, is it explaining it better
Oh, I
regarding
didn't
the
hear it. I didn't hear it. I was I was out doing something. Sorry, Tom.
That's okay.
An equilibrium. If we place a particle there, it would remain motionless, somewhat like a ball between two hills. Now, here is the field created by an electron and a proton. The two particles attract each other as the electric field forms a bridge from one particle to the other. Finally, if we place a chain of electrons on one side and a chain of protons on the other side, we can create a uniform electric field in which a particle would always feel the same force. Doing so, we can make electrons move along an electric wire and thus create an electric current. At this point, a disturbing phenomenon comes into play. Consider an electric wire consisting of a long chain of protons and electrons through which flows an electric current, which corresponds to the motion of electrons inside the wire. Imagine now that we leave an object a certain distance away from the wire, which carries a positive electric charge.
Fuck, I can't see shit.
According to what we saw
I gotta
earlier,
go. I can't see a damn thing. God damn.
the apple, as their charges are both positive. Each electron attracts the apple with the same. Overall, if we add up all these forces, they compensate each other, and the apple does not experience any net force. It remains motionless. Let us now throw the apple to the right. Strangely, we now observe that it is gradually repelled. While it is not subject to an electric force, the apple seems to be experiencing a mysterious force that pushes it away. This new force is very peculiar. It does not appear when
What I'm getting from this video is in regards to how you attract things and also how you repel things in regards to what you're manifesting. Also the power of your thought.
Exactly.
Yes, you have to push it out. You're gonna repel whatever you're trying to manifest because you're doubting,
You're telling me.
questioning,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
Exactly.
super positive, and you're in that energy of it's possible, it has already manifested. It's
Exactly. Yes.
whatever is
Yes.
on the other side, right?
Yes. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
I get from this video in regards to what you're explaining protons and electrons, on how the apple is being repelled and also being attracted to the same sides of the electrons and protons. So if you want to manifest, you have to believe it. And no, not even believe it.
You gotta know.
No.
Exactly. You got to know. Exactly. You gotta know. Exactly.
Yeah, so you have to scrape up all the doubts, the negativity, the questioning, and what ifs, and be in full positive energy that it has already happened. Feel the emotion, feel it, how it will feel if you're in that moment receiving whatever. If you're like saying, "Hey, Mr. Newsom, check your phone every time." How does it feel? You know, you feel like it has already happened and it's gonna come to pass. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about Museveni, who sent a message to the Europeans regarding Uganda's oil refinery. Let's listen in.
Some oil about 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and the way Uganda looks like, the fact that you're telling Ugandans to volunteer at the US aid organization, and they discovered oil 20 years ago.
Shit.
So now we have not started pumping the oil out into the ground. We're about to start. But the main problem was we didn't agree with the oil companies because they were saying that we should build a pipeline to take the oil, the petroleum, out of the country. Then I told them that I had a rumor that there were human beings here. Why don't we process this petroleum for these human beings who are Roman to be here? It's not for
Some
fun,
of,
but we
some of the human beings. That's a, like I said, see. Now, if you don't know that this is a moron, it's like Joby showed that moron. There's another moron. You wouldn't have him charged of a KFC. He's an idiot. But that's why he's the leader of an African country. He's a moron. Absolute moron.
They told me that oil refineries don't make money. So then I said, but if they don't make money, those who run them, why do they run them? Are they Mother Teresa's? Now I happen to go to Iran. I went to Iran.
But Ryan, you should have been figured out. He just now figured out an oil refinery makes money after 40 years of being a president, dummy.
Right, yeah. Like, how is he helping his people? Literally, the fact that he's under the control of the globalists.
Exactly. The globalist.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's being controlled, and obviously they are getting a lot of percentage being a part of the oil refinery. So I believe he's just a front. The fact that he was talking about, yes, they found
Of
out
course.
that, yeah, it's just a front, because what are you doing about it? Nothing. I
That damn
believe a
thing.
lot of leaders are coming out right now, because the fact that the Namibian president, the lady said that every US citizen and also tourists, if they're literally going to visit Namibia, they have to obtain a visa before entering the country. And the US Embassy in Namibia has advised American travelers to prepare for these new requirements. And visitors can purchase a tourist visa upon arrival at major entry points, but details may change. So this new rule affects citizens
Oh,
from
good.
non-reciprocating countries that impose visa restriction on Namibian passport holders. The announcement follows the inauguration of Mfumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, Namibia's first female president, who won 58% of the vote in the recent election. So beginning April 1st, that's in a week's time, 2025, the Namibian government will require US citizen tourists to obtain a visa prior to entering the country, and visitors are recommended to apply for their visa in advance of planned travel through Namibia's online visa on arrival portal. That's what's happening in regards to Namibia. So that's a good thing, because literally Trump is taking a lot of objective of cutting off. Some African countries have the yellow, green, and red that they have to check in with some security details, and they've been put on those colors regarding entering the US citizen. So it's a tit for tat. We can also take restrictive measures to actually cripple foreigners. Minerals talk about visas. Of course, it should definitely work like that, because we should understand, according to Dr. Arikana, the fact that she was being hosted at Al Jazeera. Yes, she said, we have to know we hold the power. We have to understand that, because it's a fact. If you understand that and you know it, not even believe it, you should know it. You hold the power as an African. Your land, what you have, what the land carries, you should know you hold the power, not the other way around. But as we move forward regarding the attitude, which was not expected from Ibrahim Traoré, let's listen in.
Une guerre de terrorisme, mais dans une guerre d'indépendance. Et il faut que chacun comprenne que c'est une logique pour les impérialistes de nous imposer cette guerre. Normalement, chaque leader, chaque dirigeant devrait se battre pour son pays. C'est une logique. Ils se battent pour leurs intérêts et nous devons nous battre aussi pour nos intérêts. Si nous arrivons à nous développer, à prospérer, ce qui veut dire que là-bas, ils ne pourront pas se développer. Ils vont devoir régresser. Si nous arrivons à transformer demain nos matières premières, ça veut dire que là-bas, des usines vont fermer. Est-ce que vous comprenez la logique? Donc, c'est normal qu'ils se battent pour mélanger notre société, pour nous maintenir dans cette guerre constante.
You have to understand, if Africa, we can look this up since the time you can remember, like you've been an African here. if there's so much war, there's constant war in Africa, we have to understand other nations are developing and they're doing better. But if you're in a very peaceful state and everything is going fine and brilliant and phenomenal, it means it's not working for these other foreign nations. Talk about it. But they have to keep us in constant war, constant disagreement and conflicts. Talk about poverty, talk about diseases. If we are always in that momentum, it means they're flourishing and they're developing and they're doing better. But if we come to a place where we're peaceful, we have good leadership, we're united, everything is in a stable moment or part of it, it means the foreign nation are not doing better. So they'll do anything to keep us impoverished, to keep us in constant war and disagreement, because that's how they're gonna be developing and actually doing better than us.
Et qu'on ne puisse jamais réfléchir un jour se développer. Et là, ils continueront à se développer eux. Et nous serons toujours là à exporter vers eux nos matières premières et notre jeunesse en train de souffrir dans la misère, chercher à traverser l'océan pour aller mendier là-bas. Donc, ils sont dans leur logique de protéger leurs intérêts, de la mauvaise façon certes, mais nous, notre devoir, c'est de nous battre pour nous affranchir et nous sortir de cette situation.
Now, he mentioned something very interesting here. He says the more there is trouble in Africa, the more Europe and other countries are doing great. So the more we have wars, we have issues, we have trouble, we have terrorism and other things, the more they thrive. So if we don't have wars, we're doing okay, then we can focus on building and being.
And also, that's why we can understand why there are always these viruses every time and then. There's always an agenda to actually cripple Africa in every way. Politically, that is working. Economically, thanks to Ibrahim Traoré literally doing his best to stabilize his nation, his country, and also the fact that Ethiopia right now has joined the AES, that's Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, to actually scrape off all the colonialists who are who've been actually controlling our African nation. It means if you're in a very stable place politically, economically, and socially, the globalists will not be able to be in a winning position.
Great. And they're going to be poor. So there can only be either us or them. In their mind, either Africa is doing bad and Europe is doing good, or Africa is doing good and we're going to die. So they're going to do anything they can so trouble can continue in Africa. No wonder why there's always wars and problems and issues.
He said something right. Zach said something very, very dire regarding it's either them or us. So this means they're not like us. Literally, this song, they're not like us. We have a very good nature. We are loving, we are caring, we are thoughtful. We have like Ubuntu going on, but they don't have that. So it's either you or me. So they don't give a crap about what you're doing.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
They don't really care. It's like, yeah, we have to take over your country. We're going to take you over. So we don't care if you guys survive or not. We're going to come up with all these viruses.
That's right.
We're going to control your leaders to keep you stagnated, to keep you dumb and foolish. I just said that, yes. But it's either you or me. And you understand our nature is so different because we have the Ubuntu nature going on. We think about the next person, but they don't. They don't.
Because doing good and we're going to die.
Nope.
So they're going to do anything they can so trouble can continue in Africa. No wonder why there's always wars and problems and issues.
Et je souhaite que les leaders religieux, ici au Burkina Faso, profitent de ce mois aussi pour prêcher. Voilà. Je dirais la bonne parole pour prêcher.
We have wars, we have issues, we have trouble, we have terrorism and other things. The more they thrive. So if we don't have wars, we're doing okay, then we can focus on building and being great. And they're going to be poor. So there can only be either us or them. In their mind, either Africa is doing bad and Europe is doing good, or Africa is doing good and we're going to die. So they're going to do anything they can so trouble can continue in Africa. No wonder why.
Exactly right. He's right.
Ici au Burkina Faso, profite de ce mois aussi pour prêcher.
Because they built the empire on the back of Africa.
Pour prêcher vis-à-vis de ceux-là, ces égarés qui tiennent les armes dans la brousse et qui tuent, parce que certains tuent et ils pensent qu'ils tuent au nom de la religion. Il faut que les leaders religieux puissent donc les égarés qui tiennent les armes dans la brousse et qui tuent parce que certains
It's sad because some people kill and they think they kill in the name of religion.
tuent et ils pensent qu'ils tuent au nom de la
That's
religion.
true.
Il faut que les leaders religieux puissent donc ensemble faire beaucoup de déclarations, beaucoup de prêches pour les faire comprendre que ce n'est pas de la religion. C'est tout sauf de l'islam. On n'a jamais dû le tuer. Il n'y a pas de raison que quelqu'un tue au nom de l'islam. Les religieux puissent donc
He's saying very, very fundamentals. Truly saying religious leaders need to come together to make many statements,
ensemble faire beaucoup de déclarations, beaucoup de
a lot of preaching to make them understand
prêches pour les faire comprendre que ce n'est pas
that it's not religion, it's anything but Islam.
de la religion. C'est tout sauf de l'islam. On n'a jamais dû le
We never think of killing.
tuer. Il n'y a pas de raison que quelqu'un tue
There's no reason for someone to kill in the name of Islam.
au nom de l'islam et qu'on ne puisse pas le dire qu'il est sur le mauvais chemin.
He also mentioned something very interesting here. He says people that are killing are not representative of Islam. You need to have a speech, a talk to teachers so they can teach the people to understand that killing somebody in the name of Islam is not true to God. This is not what it says. Instead of condemning, you can clearly see that he understands people's ignorance. So the best way to get somebody out of ignorance is not to kill them. It is to find some way of teaching them out of ignorance.
Plusieurs opérations sont en cours. Nous sommes en phase de consolidation et nous poursuivons nos manœuvres jusqu'à nos frontières. Dans quelques jours, vous serez bien sûr au courant de tout ce qui a pu être récupéré et nous allons nous implanter dans ces zones pour toujours. Nous n'allons pas reculer, nous allons récupérer la totalité de notre territoire.
Amazing. He says our country will be free. We will get to every single centimeter, but we will free our country. Let me just remind you here that Burkina Faso has been struggling with terrorists. French soldiers came into the country hoping to help them fight terrorism, but they've been there for a decade and they have not been able to do it. Now that raises a question. For a country that's
Because it's them that's doing it. That's why.
being unable to dislodge a bunch of terrorists. It's crazy because as time goes, many people feel like the terrorists are getting more and more cleverer, getting more technology. They're flying drones, they have precise bombs and stuff. How do they get that stuff? They have big trucks and stuff. How did they get the equipment? Crazy stuff. So some people started accusing France of actually finding those same people
There he goes, Emmanuel Macron.
who they supposedly be fighting. That is when the Burkina Faso decided actually.
And we've been warned by Nathalie Yam. He's coming to Kenya in the year 2026.
You know what? You need to leave our country because we feel like we're coming to you as a
And
doctor.
you have to understand all the countries that he's actually tried to dominate, he's left them in chaos, chaotic shambles.
To fix us, but yeah, it's been a while. You're not able to fix this disease. Let's find another doctor. France got very upset. Ibrahim Traore said we're going to free our country from every centimeter. We're going to do it ourselves. We don't need anybody.
Ceux qui veulent importer quelque chose au Burkina, allez-y au ministère, ils vont vous donner les papiers. Il n'y a pas de deal. Si vous partez là-bas que quelqu'un
We have to understand, every leader should come to the mindset of Ibrahim Traore, because I think a lot of leaders, not even I think, they're just chilling and drinking cocktails and enjoying
enjoying the theft of the country here, Tom.
It's so true. It's so sad, honestly, because
It's good. It's good to be the big head nigga in charge here, Tom.
oh my God. They need, maybe the Namibian president is coming up to that. That's good. Amazing. The fact that he started with saying the U.S. citizen need visas to travel and to come to Namibia.
Well, it'll be better. But you forget here, Tom. That's okay, but the majority of Namibia have white people owning all the land.
Okay.
That'd be better if they get the land back. They just worry about the white Americans. They got white people in Namibia that own all the land. What's up,
Right.
so let's just real quick. Let's say what is the percentage of white land ownership in Namibia? What is the percentage of white land ownership in Namibia? 80%. Try to be
Um,
sneaky now. I'm gonna tell you now. What is it?
70%.
70?
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's probably more than that. That's a lot. It's probably about 80, 85. Of course, they're like, okay, 70%. What are they to populate? How say what is the white percentage population in Namibia? Like 1-2%. So you got 2% on all the land. So what is the percentage of white people in Namibia? What's the percentage racially? Because ain't that many there. So what is the percentage of white people in Namibia that they own the majority of the land? What's the percentage?
1.8%.
1.8%. Irritan owns 70% of the land. 1.8% Irritan. Little to none. The white people own all of it. 1.8% Irritan. You can't make this crazy stuff up. How does 1.8% on all of the it says what Irritan?
Around 6% of Namibia is white. Another 6.5% is a mixed race between white and African heritage.
Of course, those are the ones that got raped, the mulattoes. We already know that, but they don't own the shit. The white people own it. So 1% Irritan own the majority of Namibia's land. How's that possible? So why are you telling me about a damn? Why are you telling me about a damn passport that you're doing something when white people own all your land? And then 1% Irritan. How does 1% Irritan own the majority of your land?
It's a question.
Of European invaders. How do invaders own the majority of your land? They're only 1%. You haven't overthrown these people yet. They're 1%. So colonization, the mind trap, and that's what that Christian shit. Shout out to Joseph McPunk. You're never gonna get free until you get rid of this Christian shit, African. Hate to tell you that. Your opium with this fake religion of worshiping them. You got 1% of white people controlling all the land in Namibia. So they get all the wealth and you get their fake Jesus again. Yay, Lord. Jesus loves me. Yay. You be singing your
I hope I was thinking about it in regards to the Namibian president. I'm like, I hope he's not a front because, it's kind of like shameful because.
What's the new one now? I think that the last one died because the last one told him, hey, we're going to have a revolution. I'm not going to stop it because the youth are saying, the youth are getting tired that you white people stole all our land, have kept it. So he was telling I think it was like 5 years ago. I think he died. I think it's a new president. Say, when did Namibia's new president come in? When did he get?
Before that, we have news and updates here regarding Ibrahim Traore, and this is what they're telling him. They're telling him, or this is what he said. People are telling him. They keep telling me I will be scraped off like Gaddafi, Thomas Sankara, or any young leaders that tried to make Africa better. And he says, I'm not scared, and I won't regret like leaving my country or actually passing away for my people. That's what he said. Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso.
That's right, Ibrahim. That's how you stand on your. That's how you stand on your feet and don't live on your knees. That's right.
I'm not scared, and I won't regret dying for my people.
That's right. You don't want trying to kill him. Exactly. He knows it's you wicked bastards the one that's trying to kill him. So his people know it too. So that's why they protect him.
It's so true.
With Thomas Sankara 40 years ago, they didn't have the intelligence that they have today of knowing how things work. See, them things always keep Africans stupid, keep you dumb, keep you over religious and stupid, so you don't know how the world and systems work.
Right.
So,
hello, Byron, General Mosquito. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining us right away. But I love the confidence, the adamancy of Ibrahim Traore. It's amazing. If all leaders were like that in Africa, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But we have Air France is banned from these African countries, as we are almost going to be talking about.
Yeah, because Air France pulled their own selves out of there because they tried to cripple the economy. So Ibrahim banned their ass. Okay, you talking about you pull yourself out and we are a dangerous threat. He said they were redlined. Okay, cool. Let's stay out. Now Air France is going broke. Now they need back in the same place they were making money. They're going broke. I say, nah, I'm not letting you back in. You go broke. That's what you
Actually,
do.
they tried to play the victim. They're like, okay, we're not gonna be helping you anymore. We're gonna relieve ourselves of your country. Like what? Like we're the ones who are helping you. Like it's not the other way around, you know?
Exactly. But see, Europeans have always disrespected African every time
Right.
because you've never stood. So when you stand up for yourself and say, okay, get your ass out of here then. Bye. Okay. They decided to ban themselves. Now they're losing money. Now they want to come back. Can you let us back in? I'm like, nah, stay gone. Keep the
You're
same
banned.
energy, Iriton. Keep the same energy.
You're banned from this African land.
That's right. You're banned from all the money you made from us. So kick rocks.
Kick rocks and drink some cocktails in your country.
Well, if you can afford it, they're going bankrupt. Ain't gonna be no cocktails.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You've just been drinking some water. That's
That's
sad.
right. Drink water. There you go.
Oh, we have good news today. We're going to talk about some good news today. You excited? I'm excited. So we're going to go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, this country right here. Something very interesting is happening in Tanzania, and I want you to find out about that. And then we're going to go to Air France. This is Air France. It's an airplane carrier from France. They have done something very interesting in West Africa, and a lot of people are crying. You need to find out about that. And then we're going to go to South Africa, talk about Ibrahim Rasool, the South African ambassador to the United States of America. He's been expulsed. Now, was he crying at the airport? I want you to tell me what you think about this. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very. There are two Congos. There's the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Congo. So they are actually on that side some of the same people. They were just divided by the colonialists. One was colonized.
Those are the same people that was divided. Exactly. They divided that when they stole the country.
A country that got through a lot of wars and difficulties and Ebolas and you name it. Now, something interesting happened. They have officially waived visa requirement for Tanzanian citizens entering the country. Congratulations. Yeah, piga makofi. Yeah, piga makofi, like my friend from Kenya like to say. It's interesting. That's Swahili, my brothers. Yeah, I love African languages. And I think Africans should be able to speak at least one language, in a united manner.
And once we start teaching Swahili as South Africa, then we'll be able to have all of African continent to start teaching Swahili. And once we've got a common language that we can use to communicate amongst ourselves and not use colonial languages, the unity of Africa is going to be easy. Now we are divided between the Francophones and the Anglophones.
Just like we speak English, we should be able to speak.
It's amazing because a lot of, oh my God, the Francophones, the countries that speak French, there are so many. There's, oh my God, it's a lot of people who speak French in Africa. It's a lot.
African language, and Swahili is the most spoken African language on the continent. It is spoken in Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, some part of Ethiopia, some part of Mozambique. So it's big. Okay, it's big, and I think everybody should learn a little bit of Swahili. Anyway, let's continue. Now, the Congolese people have opened the door to the Tanzanians brothers. You're gonna have fun together. They have something in common. They love music. They love happiness. They love parties. Now, the announcement was made by the Tanzanian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. The decision follows the DRC admission into the EAC. The EAC is the group of African, just like ECOWAS. You heard of ECOWAS. ECOWAS is in West Africa. East Africa's got EAC, which brings East African nations together, allowing each other to enter the next country's space without visa requirements. On September 2nd, 2023, Tanzania had already eliminated visa fees for Congolese travelers, anticipating a reciprocal agreement. The DRC latest decision ensures that Tanzanians can now travel to the DRC without needing a visa. How nice is that? How nice is that? I mean, I've been to Tanzania. If you've never, it's a beautiful place. Lovely people, like very kind, genuinely kind. The food, I just love the food, the taste. I mean, just remember, Tanzania's got a fusion of many cultures when it comes to food. I'm going to be honest with you. Tanzania's got one of the best food in Africa, if not the best. Why? There is a fusion. Remember, Tanzanians were colonized by Indians. And also, they had a very strong influence by Arabs. So you take the flavors from the Indians, from the Arabs, from the Africans, you mix it together. It's a bomb. You need to go to Tanzania and have a good time. No doubt about that. I'm very happy to hear that.
They wasn't colonized by the Indians. What the fuck is he talking about? Jesus Christ. Tanzania was never colonized by the Indians, moron. They were colonized by what they call the Arabs. And the Arabs were doing slave trade with the Indians, but they were never colonized by any Indians. So it's a whole different thing. But yeah, but there's a fusion of it because a lot of Indians did move to that area because of the slave trade that was going on in Tanzania and Zanzibar. So that was a slave trade. The Arabs also coordinating with the Europeans. So yeah, but they weren't colonized by no damn Indians. Go ahead, dear John.
No one wants to see an Africa that's open, an open door Africa where Africans can travel to the next country without needing a visa.
I believe all African countries should be visa free, but the rest of the globalists should definitely have a visa to enter Africa.
Europeans do. An European from Netherlands can go to Spain without needing a visa. But they brought you visas ideas. The visa was never African. When they came to Africa, creating countries, because there was never countries in Africa, they gave you passports. Passport was not an African thing.
Yeah, that's all these things. Exactly. Because Europeans practiced something called feudalism. So they would keep people on their land. So they create these borders so Europeans would steal land and create borders, a place that they stole. Let's say, hey, this is my area. I stole it. Don't you come in. If you do, you'll need a pass to get into it. That's where the passport system came, because the Europeans are always stealing shit. So that's how they created Africa as a place of just stealing all kind of shit. That's where all these borders came in at.
That's a fact. Want to move to the France? Yeah, France right away. I can see General Mosquito there. How are you doing? What's goody on your end? And what's that profile picture on your profile? That's what I was thinking about.
He changed his profile picture every other month. What's his new profile?
What is that? That's a very interesting one, General Mosquito.
Which one he got now? What is it? I can't even tell.
Check it out, Mr. Newsom.
I can't tell what it is.
No, you really?
I can't tell. It's too small. I'm on my phone. You're on the computer. It's too small for me. I can't tell. Probably it's Nigerian girl. Probably it's Nigerian girl hitting him over the head with something.
General Mosquito, please zoom it in for Mr. Newsom to say.
Some of these countries in Africa, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, they don't fly over there anymore. Air France belongs to France, as you know, as you can see. They used to service these countries a lot. They were the main carrier in these countries. Why? Because they colonized these countries. I mean, some of these European countries feel like when they colonize an African country, it's like a private
land that they control, or a private company. It is a company for them, literally.
Exactly. It's all how they stole. Europe is impoverished here. Talking about Africa, they're poor.
Yeah.
So all this business derives out of Africa.
Yeah, it is a business for them, and that's why they don't care about you and me. It's a business, honey.
No, France has been very, very strong when it comes to running African countries.
In your face, Macron tells it to your face, like, yeah, you should be grateful that we're helping you. How are you helping us? Remember the last time he said you should be grateful? I'm not grateful.
I'm helping you. I'm helping you by stealing all your shit. That's what I'm helping you. And I brought you white Jesus, nigga. Okay? That's what they tell you. That's right. That's what they tell you.
These countries in France. When these countries kicked out France, saying we don't want you in our country, we need to take your military that's been stationed here for too long, fighting terrorism, but we're not hanging.
Fighting fake terrorism.
Anyway.
Yeah, because the terrorism is them. They're the ones put it there so they can stay there because they fighting it, and so they can keep stealing. Exactly. All these things. It's funny, before the Europeans came, there was no terrorism running around Africa.
I said okay because we're not understanding each other. First of all, you are going to suffer to get visas to France.
We don't want to come to your friends.
That's number one. Number two, your people, even though they're artists or musicians or all that, you're going to struggle to get visas to
This is the card they pulled, the victim card that they pulled. Like, okay, you're
All
giving
right.
you all the freedoms, and they were like, okay, we're not gonna come to your country as long as you don't come here. Also,
to France. Number three, we're also, no, it's actually we're not going to serve your countries anymore. Air France is not coming
how are
to.
you serving our country? It's a question. You're not. You are serving us. Not really. You're the one who should actually be thankful because you are getting help
Exactly.
from.
You're making your money. You're making your money from us. Flying on your goopy planes. Exactly.
You're the one who are serving us, not us serving you guys.
Country because your countries are dangerous and you cannot ensure securities or
They said your country is dangerous. That's what Macron said. Your country
Of
is.
course.
What are you doing here then? If it's dangerous.
Exactly.
These countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, were fine for Air France when the French soldiers were in these countries. As soon as these countries cut ties with them, then they say these countries are dangerous. They're not going to fly anymore. Now, something has happened. They always say when you want to teach somebody a lesson, you want to perhaps put them in a corner. Don't put them in a corner for too long. When you want to punish a child, for that matter, or a little brother, because in Africa we can do that, don't punish them too long because they get used to the punishment. Or even in your relationship, you want to bring a message across. Don't do it too hard.
Okay, Zach, I'm listening to you.
People get used to your punishment. Now, guess what happened since France stopped serving these countries? Well, they found another country that we need to do that. Guess
That's
what?
what they're always doing. And they're coming to Kenya. He's coming to Kenya. He's coming to Kenya.
Of course, because he's getting kicked out of the other African countries, so he's trying to. Everybody coming to Nigeria and Kenya, the English-speaking ones, because they want to have a foothold in this parts of Africa. Exactly, they want to colonize it.
So they went
This is the
to.
gradual Africanization of the Sahelian skies. The disappearance of Air France in this territory creates
Because of poor Eritrea. Europe is poor without Africa. Always has been.
and are ready to seize despite the logistical and economical challenges it represents. To limit the risk, Air Senegal is adopting an approach combining its 3 weeks flight to Niamey with a stopover to Bamako.
As we're almost winding our family, we'll finish up with Natalie Yam talking about Macron.
Capital of the Sahel region, where Air France also has a strategic position, but which benefits more of the dynamic market. So in other words, I'm not going to go into too much literature. Senegal airline is going to go where Air France stopped going. Basically, that's what's going to happen. Air France say, I'm not coming anymore because you guys are dangerous.
We don't need you anyways. You're the ones who's dangerous. Look at you. Look at that manipulation.
Now they're begging to come back. Why are you begging? No.
Yeah,
They
look at
out.
that manipulation. We're not going to come to your country. Okay. Really?
And so Ibrahim did to do that. What he did, he started developing his own airlines. So Burkina Faso are now manufacturing their own airplanes.
Look at that.
We cannot ensure the securities of our flight. They say, okay, fine, don't come anymore.
Don't come anymore. I think they thought we're going to cry and beg and come follow you and make speeches and conferences. No, honey. We're woke. We know who we are. Now we know what's happening. We're not going to be drinking cocktails and chilling no more. That's we're going to be drinking our ashwagandha. That's what's happening.
Okay, Senegal Airline now is taking this flight. They're going to be flying 6 to 7 times a week. They're going to not limit themselves only to Mali, Burkina Faso.
That's what we did. There's always a way. There's always a way out. So
you take back your own power here.
Thank you, Trump, for scraping off US aid. That's really good. Thank you for banning all these countries. That's good, actually. It's good. It's a wake-up call for a lot of Africans.
Exactly.
It's a good thing if you look at it from that perspective. If you look at it from that perspective, it's
a great
working
thing.
on good. As we're actually winding up, I'm going to wind up with Natalie Yam, an amazing queen, always on business, talking about I shared this earlier before she came to the Pan-Africanist Conference regarding the globalist friends coming to Eastern and Southern Africa, that's Kenya at this time, and the fact that the video that talked about Africa's boundaries, what we are doing to take a hold of our identities and our political, social, economic sectors. And the love she has for us, she had to do this in Swahili also. Actually do this in English because all her videos are mostly in French.
Habari, jina langu ni Natalie Yam. If you are from English-speaking Africa, this video is for you. Grab a drink and take a seat. The news just came in. The next France-Africa Summit will be held in Kenya.
Yeah, guys, my African Kenyan brothers and sisters, Macron has actually spied a new territory to ambush his agendas, and that's Kenya.
In 2026, as announced by Emmanuel Macron and William Ruto on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. I'm quickly making this video, and I'm doing it in English, to warn my Kenyan brothers and sisters, as well as all of you in Southern and Eastern Africa. Beware, the French are coming to your countries. The France-Africa Summits, which have been held since 1973, first annually, then every 2 years, then every 3 years, 4 years, and now every 5 years, have lost their relevance. France's traditional partners in Africa are either inaudible or have severed ties with a country that just can't shake off its colonial habits. Compared to other international meetings of the same kind, like China Africa, Russia Africa, USA Africa, or even Korea Africa, France's summit looks pathetic. So for the 28th edition in 2021, Macron tried to reinvent the format by bringing in mostly insignificant young people, coached to take over and breathe new life into France-Afrique instead of the old discredited politicians. The result, a disaster. Everything he touches.
Disaster.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be colonized anymore, Airtime. Nobody wants to have white people rule them and steal all their money, Airtime.
Yeah. Oh
So no matter what kind of goofy, no matter what kind of goofy conference you put on, people know it's about you stealing from them and keeping them poor. Exactly.
Yeah.
In 2026, he will try a new approach, relocating the event to an Anglophone country with the most subservient president of the region.
Even Natalie knows it.
William Ruto of Kenya, the guy who had 40 young people killed during the Gen Z protests against his budget earlier this year. To lure the public, they will naturally highlight bogus themes like environment or climate change.
Yeah, I told you that fake, exactly, fake climate change. Yeah, like I've been telling people, that fake is the climate change, the globalist nonsense. Exactly right, Natalie. They keep coming with that fake stuff so they can keep stealing money from you. Don't you want to keep the environment? These white people ain't never gave a shit about no environment. Never. Now they want to tell us some environment. You get out of here with that shit.
Agenda by Westerners who fear nothing more than Africa fully tapping into its energy potential.
Oh, resources, exactly. They don't want you to get your resources, so you now control your own destiny. Exactly.
They don't want us to be independent at all.
Exactly.
That Macron's France was kicked out of the Sahel, where it had been plundering resources for decades, if not
plundering, stealing.
Allow William Ruto to turn Kenya into a dumping ground for French waste rejected by West, Central, and even North Africa. Don't let Tanzania, Mozambique, or Angola become the next deployment sites for the mercenary disguised as the French army or the French media. I particularly want to warn Tanzanians. The new French ambassador to your country, Anne-Sophie Ave, was previously responsible for spreading propaganda and misinformation for friends in Africa, threatening and targeting leaders like me or the heads of state of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso who promote African sovereignty. If you don't know me, I am Emmanuel Macron's worst female nightmare. In 2019, he had me arrested in the French colony of Côte d'Ivoire and deported from Africa to Europe. Yes, you heard that right. Just like our ancestors were taken during the era of slavery. But instead of being thrown into the hold of a ship, I was put on an Air France plane in Abidjan and forcibly sent to Switzerland. In 2022, European media widely reported on the French government's decision to ban me from entering or staying in France. And all of this simply because I fight for Africa's liberation. The new French ambassador to Tanzania even testified before the French Parliament earlier this year about the strategies and tactics she uses to suppress the truth about France in the countries where she operates. She will surround herself with artists and influencers, organize dinners and parties like Didi, wear traditional attire, and dance wherever and whenever she can. She will sponsor TV shows and even host them, speak Swahili, pray local, sleep local, all to ensure she has an army of local people on social media who will do the dirty work.
That is so true. They will try to fit in to make you feel like you guys are okay. They have a good agenda. But no, they're coming to spy and basically take over your resources and minerals. That's what Natalie Yam warning us about Macron coming into the country in the year 2026. But thank you, family, for joining me this beautiful afternoon on Let's Pop with Irutan. The topic was Africa's boundaries. What a lot of leaders, also a lot of individuals in Kenya, Natalie Yam being a voice, Ibrahim Traore, actually speaking on the boundaries African countries are taking to secure their land and take back their power. Has been amazing this beautiful afternoon. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Thank you, General Mosquito, by Mr. Newsom, for joining me. But before that, let's not be drinking cocktails this season of the awakening. Remember, you have the likes of ashwagandha to give you energy, to give you strength, to give you a super receptive mind to be that strong African individual who literally stand and fight for their country. Let's listen.
You better tell Joby and Shamani not to be drinking cocktails. They the ones be drinking that shit.
Oh my God. Let's listen in to the health and benefits of ashwagandha.
Discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
For $23.90. And we have many, many more on the website. Much love. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. I'm sending you so much love and light. Your last take, Mr. Newsom?
I don't have one.
What?
Yeah, I got my rant out, so I'm good.
Okay, that's Mr. Newsom for you, drinking some cocktails because he's chilled today.
I don't drink cocktails.
What do you mean by that? You're just chilling. When I say cocktails,
okay, but those are not alcoholic.
Yeah, mocktails then. Mocktails are not alcoholic. Alrighty. Happy days, family. Much love. Thank you, Byron Scott, General Mosquito, the silent listeners. Remember to watch this on a rerun and also follow us on all the social media platform for more awakening, redefining conversation only on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
Feel the hits. Feel
You're now
the
listening to the
freshness.
best music